In the early 1930s, the United States was amid the Great Depression, a period of economic turmoil that left millions of Americans unemployed and struggling to survive. It was in this context that Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had just been elected as president, proposed a series of programs and policies designed to address the country's economic and social challenges. This became known as the New Deal, and it transformed American society in profound ways. Welcome to this video on the New Deal, how it changed American society. In this video, we'll be exploring the origins of the New Deal, the key policies and programs that it introduced, and its lasting impact on American society. Join us as we journey back in time to the 1930s and discover how the New Deal changed the course of American history. What was the New Deal? President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's New Deal was a wide-ranging and all-encompassing program of government initiatives to lift the United States out of the Great Depression. Starting in the early 1930s, its goals were to strengthen the U.S. economy, lower unemployment rates, establish a safety net for vulnerable citizens, and inspire trust in the government's capacity to safeguard its people. The New Deal was a pivotal moment in American history, one that transformed the country's economy, politics, and society. At its core, the New Deal was a response to the Great Depression, a period of economic hardship and social dislocation that affected millions of Americans. With unemployment rates soaring and poverty levels skyrocketing, President Franklin D. Roosevelt recognized the need for bold and decisive action to address these challenges and provide relief for those in need. One of the key elements of the New Deal was its emphasis on government intervention in the economy. Roosevelt and his advisors believed that the federal government had a responsibility to promote economic growth and stability, and that this required a significant expansion of government programs and policies. Throughout his presidency, Roosevelt introduced a wide range of initiatives aimed at achieving these goals, including the creation of the Social Security system, the establishment of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, and the implementation of the Works Progress Administration, WPA, and the Civilian Conservation Corps. These programs had a significant impact on the American economy, providing much-needed relief for workers, farmers, and businesses struggling to survive amid the Depression. The Social Security system, for example, provided a safety net for the elderly and disabled, while the FDIC helped restore confidence in the banking system by ensuring deposits. The WPA and CCC, meanwhile, put millions of Americans back to work through public works projects and conservation efforts, providing not only employment, but also a sense of purpose and dignity for those who had been left behind by the economy. Of course, the New Deal was not without its controversies and criticisms. Some accused Roosevelt of overstepping his bounds and creating an overly intrusive and expensive government. Others argued that the New Deal did not go far enough in addressing the root causes of the Depression, and that it failed to address issues such as racial inequality and the concentration of wealth in the hands of a few. Despite these criticisms, however, the New Deal remains one of the most significant periods in American history, a moment of profound change that set the stage for the modern welfare state and established the federal government as a key player in the economy and society. Today, as we grapple with new economic and social challenges, the lessons of the New Deal remain as relevant as ever, reminding us of the power of government to shape the destiny of a nation. Understanding the New Deal. The stock market crash of 1929, commonly referred to as Black Thursday, abruptly halted a period of rapid economic expansion. This resulted in the collapse of numerous banks and companies across the United States, leading to a massive spike in unemployment that left almost 25% of the workforce without jobs. When Franklin Roosevelt became president in 1933, he initiated the New Deal. This encompassed a range of government-funded initiatives aimed at putting people back to work, as well as legislative and executive measures to support farmers and stimulate business activity. The New Deal was not without controversy, as it implemented several radical reforms that expanded the government's role in steering the economy. Some of its programs, including the National Recovery Administration and the Agricultural Adjustment Administration, were invalidated by the Supreme Court due to their unconstitutional nature. However, despite these setbacks, the public widely supported the New Deal. In 1937, Roosevelt attempted to expand the Supreme Court to prevent future New Deal programs from being invalidated. While this effort failed, the Social Security Act was eventually upheld by the court, ensuring the continued success of the New Deal. Impact of the New Deal. One of the key components of the New Deal was the establishment of the Civilian Conservation Corps, CCC, which put unemployed young men to work on conservation projects throughout the country. The CCC not only provided much-needed employment for young people, but it also helped to restore the nation's natural resources and improve infrastructure. Another major component of the New Deal was the creation of the Social Security Program, which provided financial assistance to the elderly, the disabled, and other vulnerable populations. Social Security was a revolutionary program that helped to lift millions of Americans out of poverty and ensure that they had a basic standard of living in their old age. The New Deal also introduced several reforms aimed at regulating the economy and protecting consumers. The Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, was established to oversee the stock market and prevent fraud and abuse, while the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, insured bank deposits and helped to restore public confidence in the banking system. Perhaps the most significant legacy of the New Deal was its impact on American politics and society. The New Deal coalition, which included labor unions, minorities, and other traditionally marginalized groups, helped to reshape American politics and establish the Democratic Party as the dominant political force in the country for decades to come. The New Deal also paved the way for the expansion of the federal government and the creation of a robust system of social welfare programs. History of the New Deal. The New Deal can be divided into two distinct phases. The first phase, which took place during the first 2 years of Roosevelt's presidency, included the NRA and AAA as well as initiatives to stabilize the banking system, Emergency Banking Act, safeguard bank deposits, Banking Act of 1933 or Glass-Steagall Act, and restore trust in the stock market, Securities Act of 1933. The second phase, introduced in 1935, brought about some of the New Deal's most significant and long-lasting accomplishments. These included the establishment of government-supported retirement plans through Social Security, as well as an increase in government employment, Works Progress Administration, and minimum wages, Fair Labor Standards Act. Was the New Deal a success? According to historians, the New Deal played a significant role in reviving the United States economy by slowly bringing it back to its former glory in the 1930s. The implementation of federal deposit insurance helped restore confidence in the banking system, while the improvement of working conditions and the strengthening of labor unions gave workers a more influential voice. However, despite these efforts, it was the onset of World War II that proved to be the turning point for America's economic recovery. The unprecedented global spending on ships, arms, and planes led to the country achieving full employment, a feat that the New Deal programs, despite their best endeavors, could not achieve independently. Thanks for watching The New Deal, How It Changed American Society. We hope you enjoyed this journey back in time to one of the most significant periods in American history. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more great content. And as always, stay curious.